Welcome back, guys, to this edition of Interviewing Hollywood with me, your host, Shahid Manning. We are at the DVD breakout party for Pick Up the Mic. We are with a homo hip-hop artist who has been so amazingly affected by this movie, by this show, that he is decided to break out and become a artist, a homo hip-hop artist, full-time. His name is DL. Imagine.
What's up?
He is reversing DL. No. DL, tell us, we're going to talk some serious questions, but tell us that the name DL, why you chose DL, especially since you're now not going to be, you're coming out of the closet, but you're DL. I love the whole dichotomy of that.
Well, obviously, you know, I go by Down Low, and the reason why I go by Down Low is I like to embrace the things that in my past that have made me, you know, who I am. Because, I mean, that's what makes people who they are, the things that they go through. And I spent a lot of my life on the down low, not necessarily from my family, because I came out of my family when I was like 18 years old, you know, because I have a really cool family. I have a mother that's just awesome, and you know, she's like my best friend, and I can tell her anything. And my stepdad / who I call my dad is the same way. So, but my thing was my friends and my peers, and because I've been doing music for like 15 years, so it's like coming out to other people in the hip hop scene. It's like, you can't do that. A rapper can't be gay. And so that's why I chose the name Down Low, because I'm like, I can turn a negative into a positive. And people go, well, you're not down low. You're right. You know what I mean? It's like, you're right, I'm not down low, but my name is Down Low. And also, like, I want other people who have been in similar situations to hear my music and go, this guy's name is Down Low. Like, I'm kind of on the down low, but I don't have to be. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I want the youth to be like, we don't have to be like this. Right. You know?
DL, let me tell you, I mean, I've heard this sentiment from all of these artists. You guys you blow me away. I mean, the social consciousness here, not just trying to be artistic, but trying to be socially conscious and really drive this ball home that I am whoever I happen to be, whether I'm a man or transsexual or what have you. It's not about my sexuality. It is about the struggle. It's about the music. It is about what I'm saying. Please do not judge me by my sexuality only. It's only this big. I think you said that to me off air, right? It's only this big.
Right. I'm the kind of person where I'm like, being gay doesn't define who I am. There is so much more that makes me a complex person than being gay. Like, being gay is honestly like this much of me, and that like I don't consider myself a gay artist. I consider myself an artist who just happens to be gay and who just happens to make songs that will relate to other people who are gay.
So are you comfortable with your sexuality?
Oh, yes. I could care less what someone else thinks. Like, this is who I am. Like, you know what I mean?
So is being gay a strength?
It actually, you know what, it is. Like, if I heard someone call me a faggot, I'd be like, you damn right.
You know what I say when someone calls me a faggot? I say, they say homosexual, I say heterosexual.
Right.
It's completely neutralized.
You know, the funny thing is, like, I've had people say, well, when did you choose to be gay? I'm like, the day you chose to be straight.
Wow, I love these responses. I'm learning some new good stuff here.
Because they'll look at, well, I didn't choose to be straight. Right, and you're ignorant too. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't even do the value judgment. I'm just like, when they say homosexual, I say heterosexual, suddenly they have nothing to say.
Well, it's not even about judging them. It's like, by opening your mouth and saying something like that, it's like, you know, you didn't choose to be straight. I didn't choose to be gay. Like, I mean, common sense will tell you, would I choose to be ridiculed my whole life? No. Yeah,
but I think people don't stop to think that at all when they talk about that. They don't do that. So tell me about the main effect that this movie has had on you. I think you told me that this movie has had some powerful effects on you. I want to hear that.
Right. To me, this is much more than a movie, than a documentary. Like, this movie really, like, it opened my eyes to, like, wow, there are other hip-hop artists that are being themselves. Like, because I've been in studios with, you know, famous artists and non-famous artists, and you can't be yourself in there. Like, you have to be reserved. And, like, with these people are like my family, so I can go in and I can be myself, and I can make jokes, and we can do, you know, whatever. We can be who we are. And it, like I said, this is much more than a movie. Like, to me, this was like a big eye-opener. Like, wow, there are other people that are like me. You know, I'm not the only one.
You speak to the basic human condition, and we need to know that there are others in our boat for us to feel empowered. You feel empowered.
Oh, definitely. And I think Alex deserves, like, crazy a round of applause for this movie because it's just awesome.
Well, I think he's gotten a lot of awards and these kind of things. When you ever do something good for the good of the people, it will come back to you tenfold, right?
Right.
Absolutely. So did we talk about what your new album and stuff is? What's coming out? Where can we find it? What's the song? What's going on?
I have a new album coming out. It's called The Reanimator. And the title comes from, you know, the general population is like, oh, hip-hop is dead. And I refuse to accept that hip-hop is dead. Because first of all, music doesn't die. People stop playing it, but music doesn't die. It's always there. And so for people to say that hip-hop is dead, it's not. And so I made this album, you know, and you're going to hear things that you've probably heard in the past, but you haven't heard them like this. And like, so therefore I'm like trying to say I'm reanimating it. Not that it's really, like I said, I don't really believe it's dead because there are people that are feeding their families off this. There are people that are putting ramen in their mouth. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not dead. If people are making a living and people are making money off this, whether it's this much or this much, it's not dead. It's not dead.
So who are some, just real quickly because we only have like a minute left, who are some of your influences? Who do you say, I want to be like that rapper or that hip-hop artist?
Oh, wow.
Just one. Give me a couple.
Wow. Rappers that I would like to be like, wow, I don't really do that. Like I have people who inspire me.
Who's inspired you?
Who's inspired me? Really like a lot of the artists from the 90s, like Notorious B.I.G., Tupac, Dr. Dre, Snoop.
Okay,
like,
do you rap like B.I.G.?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Are you a rapper or are you singing?
I'm a rapper.
Okay.
Like I'm a rapper. But my raps, like, a lot of people tell me that I tell stories. Like I have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and a conclusion in my tale.
The end is the conclusion.
Right.
Okay.
And so, but like even like I grew up on NWA and Eazy-E. Like I grew up on people telling stories, writing songs, not just rapping about nothing.
Eazy-E used to like to drink nuts, you know.
Oh.
Okay, wait. Ooh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. That hit me. Okay. DL, thank you. You know, I could talk to you all night. I mean, this is really great. I love to hear about what's going on, what people are thinking. I've said this several times, but what strikes me is that you guys are so socially conscious. You are really out there saying, this is who I am. We're not going away. And, you know, from this movie empowering you to you saying, look, you know what? I want to be myself. It's a basic human need to be yourself and to be heard and be respected, right?
Right. Well, I also feel that, you know, if 10 teenagers listen to my music and 5 of them get it and they're like, I'm not alone, and it helps them and they smile, or the older person from the gay community who's, you know, been there and seen it all, and to think that, wow, that someday we'd be fighting for marriage rights, to hear a hip-hop album go, wow, we've came a long way, and smile, that just does a lot for me.
That's fantastic. In other words, have the strength to be yourself.
Right.
Thank you so much, DL, man, for being my guest on the show. And guys, thank you again. And not only does DL and myself have the strength to be ourselves, but you need to have the strength to be yourselves. Know that you can be yourself and be anything that you want to be. Thank you. Good night. We are all stars. And thank you again for being the installment, for watching this installment of Interviewing Hollywood with me, your host, Shahid Manning. Thank you. God bless and good night.